do so in order that only Indians, Tibetans, or Asians should benefit, but in order that all sentient beings should find peace and happiness. It is my prayer, too, that whoever puts these instructions and words of advice into effect may find the tranquility and insight that is their fruit. September 29th, 2003. Acknowledgements. This book is based on a series of lectures I gave in Santa Barbara from the autumn of 2000 through the spring of 2001. These lectures were recorded and then transcribed by many volunteers among my students, to whom I am deeply grateful. These raw transcripts were then edited into book form by Brian Hodel, after which I made various changes which he polished once again. It had been a pleasure working with Brian, and I thank him for his unflagging enthusiasm and skillful editing. The manuscript was then sent to my agent, Patricia Vanderloon, who coached me with enormous patience in writing a book proposal and polishing my writing style. It was thanks to her that the manuscript was submitted to John Wiley & Sons, and due to the kind interest on the part of Thomas Miller, executive editor, General Interest Books, that it was accepted for publication. I have very much enjoyed working with Taryn Johnson, the editor at John Wiley & Sons, who line-edited the manuscript and made other helpful suggestions. I am grateful to all those who have contributed to this book, especially my many teachers, including His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Geshe Rabten, and Gyattrul Rinpoche, without whom my life in Dharma and this book that has resulted from it would have been impossible. Finally, I wish to express my thanks for the loving support of my wife, Vesna A. Wallace, and stepdaughter, Sarah, who have brought so much joy to my life. Introduction. Over the past 34 years that I have studied and practiced Buddhism, I have trained under the guidance of 60 teachers from the East and West. Most of my spiritual mentors have been Tibetan, but I have also learned from meditation masters trained in the Theravada traditions of Burma, Thailand, and Sri Lanka. Among the wide range of meditation practices to which I have been exposed, I have found none more beneficial than the following 5 Buddhist meditations. Meditative quiescence. The 4 applications of mindfulness, of the body, feelings, mind, and mental objects. The 4 immeasurables: compassion, loving-kindness, empathetic joy, and equanimity. Dream yoga. Dzogchen, the great perfection. As far as I'm concerned, these are the greatest hits of the Buddhist meditative tradition because they present a direct path leading to the realization of our deepest nature and the potentials of consciousness. These meditations are the essential Buddhist practices for refining the attention, cultivating mindfulness, opening the heart, investigating the nature of the waking state and its relation to dreaming, and finally probing the nature of awareness itself. Each takes you a step further on the path to enlightenment, yet you don't have to believe in any specific creed to engage in them, and you can swiftly see for yourself how they alleviate the afflictions of the mind and bring you a greater sense of well-being and fulfillment. I have not watered these meditations down for popular consumption, nor have I mixed them with cultural additives from the traditional Asian civilizations in which they have long been preserved. While I admire those cultures, I was born and raised in the West, and it is important to recognize that these practices are as powerful for us in the modern world as they were for Asians centuries ago. Although they originated in India and Tibet, these practices are universal in their application. The issues they address are fundamental to human existence throughout the world and throughout human history, and never have they been more relevant than today. I have titled this book Genuine Happiness because the meditations herein present a path to inner fulfillment and human flourishing. This is a happiness gained not through the outer conquest of nature or the acquisition of wealth and fame, but through the conquest of our inner obscurations and the realization of the natural resources inherent in our hearts and minds.